10 little fingers, big count. Mia sat on the soft carpet, looking at her 10 little fingers. 1, 2, 3, she counted, wiggling each finger with a giggle. Her fingers danced like tiny stars twinkling in the sky. Each finger was special, helping her touch, grab, and explore the world around her. Mia smiled big and said, "Let's count all my fingers today." First, Mia touched her thumb, feeling proud. "One strong thumb for holding my teddy," she said. Then came her pointer finger, pointing at a bright red ball. "2 pointy fingers to find fun," she laughed. Each finger had a job and a special story, making Mia's hands busy and happy all day long. Mia wiggled her middle finger, saying, "3 wiggle fingers dance with me." She giggled as they all moved up and down. Her ring finger and baby finger joined in, making a little finger dance party. Counting and moving, Mia's fingers made music only she could hear, filling the room with joy and laughter. Next, Mia touched her palm and said, 5 fingers on this hand and 5 on the other." She clapped her hands gently, feeling a happy rhythm. The fingers loved to work together, helping Mia build towers with blocks and paint colorful pictures. Counting her fingers made everything feel fun and magical. Mia's fingers helped her count to 10, waving hello and goodbye to her teddy bear and toys. 10 little fingers, big and small, helping me learn and grow tall," she sang. With a happy sigh, Mia knew her fingers were more than just 10 little parts. They were her helpers, her friends, and her magic all in one. The Busy Beaver's Dam. Early one sunny morning, Benny the Beaver woke up with a big smile. Today was the perfect day to build his new dam. He splashed into the sparkling river and started gathering sticks and logs. As Benny worked, he hummed a happy tune, tapping his big flat tail on the water. The forest around him was alive with chirping birds and buzzing bees, all curious to see what Benny would build next. Soon, Benny's friend Lily the frog hopped over. "Can I help?" she croaked excitedly. Benny nodded, smiling wide. Lily found soft mud to hold the sticks together, and Benny carefully placed each log in the water. Just then, Sammy the squirrel scampered down from a tree, carrying shiny acorns. "These can be decorations," he chirped. Together, they made the dam stronger and even prettier. As the dam grew taller, a bluebird named Bella flew down. "Let me help with the finishing touches," she sang. Bella gathered soft leaves and feathers, placing them gently around the dam. The animals all worked together, laughing and sharing ideas. When the dam was done, it was strong, cozy, and took colors from the forest itself. Benny felt proud and happy to have such wonderful friends. The Throwing Trio of Timmy and Tina. Once upon a time in a sunny backyard, there were 2 siblings named Timmy and Tina. They loved to play together, and their favorite game was throwing things. One bright morning, Timmy said, "Let's see who can throw the ball the farthest." Tina giggled and replied, "I can throw my frisbee even further." With that, they grabbed their toys, ready to have a fun-filled day of throwing. Timmy threw the ball high into the air. It soared like a bird, and they both cheered. "Wow, that was amazing," Tina exclaimed. Then it was her turn. She tossed the frisbee and it twirled gracefully through the air. Toby the dog barked excitedly and chased after it, wagging his tail like a happy flag. "Go, Toby!" they shouted, clapping their hands. They took turns throwing different things: a soft plush toy, a colorful kite, and even some leaves. Each time they cheered for one another. "Your throw was the best," Timmy said. "No, yours was," giggled Tina. They learned that it wasn't about who threw the farthest, it was about having fun together. With each throw, their laughter filled the air. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with pink and orange, Timmy and Tina sat down on the grass, tired but happy. Toby curled up beside them, wagging his tail gently. "Today was the best day ever," Tina said. Timmy nodded. "Yes, let's do this again tomorrow." And with that, they all smiled, dreaming of more throwing adventures to come. The Calm Little Cat. In a bright and lively garden, there lived a little cat named Momo. Unlike the other animals who loved to jump, run, and play all day, Momo liked to sit quietly under the big oak tree. She would watch the butterflies dance and listen to the birds sing, feeling calm and happy inside. Her soft gray fur shone gently in the sunlight, and her big, gentle eyes sparkled with kindness. One sunny morning, the garden was full of busy animals playing tag and chasing each other. The yellow bird chirped loudly, the bunny hopped quickly, and the squirrel gathered acorns with excitement. But Momo stayed calm, sitting quietly on a smooth stone, watching the fun with a soft smile. She felt happy just being still and peaceful. Suddenly, the sky darkened and big gray clouds rolled in. The wind began to blow, shaking the tall trees and swirling leaves everywhere. The animals became scared and started running around, not knowing what to do. But Momo stayed calm. She quietly called to her friends, "Let's find a safe place to stay together." Her soft voice was like a warm hug that made everyone feel better. Momo led the animals to a cozy little hollow under the big oak tree. They all snuggled close together, feeling safe and warm. The storm rumbled outside, but inside their little shelter, Momo's calm heart helped them feel peaceful and brave. When the storm passed, the sun came out again, and the garden sparkled with fresh raindrops and happy smiles. From that day on, all the garden animals knew the special magic of being calm, just like little Momo. When things get noisy or scary, they remember to take a deep breath and find a quiet place inside. And Momo? She kept sitting quietly, watching butterflies and listening to the birds, sharing her calm with everyone who needed it. The Happy Red Crossbill's Song. High up in the tall pine trees of the sunny forest lived Coco, the happy red crossbill. Every morning, Coco would stretch his wings, fluff his bright red feathers, and sing the sweetest, happiest song. His song was special because his beak was just the right shape to open pine cones and also to make beautiful music. As Coco sang, the sunlight danced through the leaves and the forest seemed to smile along with him. One day, while Coco was singing, a curious squirrel stopped nibbling an acorn and listened. Soon, a fluffy rabbit twitched its nose and hopped closer, enchanted by the happy song. Even a shy little deer peeked out from behind a tree to hear the music. Coco's song was so joyful that it made everyone in the forest want to smile and feel happy too. Excited by his new audience, Coco chirped even louder and added happy little whistles. The squirrel clapped its tiny paws, the rabbit hopped in time, and the deer swayed gently to the rhythm. Soon, butterflies began to flutter all around, joining the happy forest concert. Coco's song had turned into a magical melody that brought all his friends together in a wonderful forest celebration. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with soft pinks and oranges, Coco finished his song with a happy trill. All the animals cheered and thanked him for sharing such a beautiful tune. From that day on, whenever the forest needed a smile, Coco the happy red Crossbill would sing his joyful song, reminding everyone that happiness is best when shared with friends. The Little Booby's Beak. Little Booby was a tiny seabird who lived on a sunny island by the sea. But there was something very special about Little Booby. His beak was not just ordinary. It changed colors depending on how he felt. When he was happy, it shone bright yellow like the sun. When he was curious, it shimmered blue like the ocean. And when he was shy, it turned a soft, gentle pink. Every day was a new adventure because Little Booby's beak told a colorful story. One morning, Little Booby felt curious as he saw a shiny shell on the beach. His beak turned a sparkling blue as he hopped closer to take a look. Just then, a friendly crab waved hello. Little Booby's beak changed to a bright green, showing he was a little excited. The crab showed him how to find shiny shells and told stories about the sea. Little Booby was so happy to meet a new friend who loved adventures as much as he did. As the sun began to set, Little Booby felt a little shy because he wanted to join a game with the playful seal and the jumping fish. His beak turned soft pink, the color of a quiet evening sky. But then he took a deep breath and decided to be brave. His beak glowed bright orange, shining like a tiny flame. With a happy chirp, he joined the fun, splashing and playing until the stars twinkled above. Little Booby learned that being brave and kind made his colors shine even brighter. The Friendly Cardinal's Crest. In a sunny forest, there lived a little red cardinal named Ruby. Ruby wasn't just any bird. On top of her head was a special crest that sparkled with a soft golden light. Every time Ruby helped a friend or shared a smile, her crest would glow even brighter. One morning, Ruby woke up feeling extra happy. She fluttered her wings and sang a sweet song, ready for a new day of adventures and kindness. As Ruby flew through the forest, she saw her friend Sammy the squirrel trying to reach a tasty acorn on a high branch. Ruby chirped, "I can help." She flapped her wings and gently nudged the acorn down. Sammy smiled and thanked Ruby, and right away, Ruby's crest sparkled a little brighter. Helping friends made her feel warm inside, and she loved seeing smiles all around. Next, Ruby spotted Bella the bunny hopping sadly near the bushes. Bella had lost her way back home. Ruby fluttered down beside her and said softly, "Don't worry, I'll help you find your way." Together, they walked through the forest, Ruby's crest glowing warmly as they followed the sunbeams. Soon, Bella saw her cozy burrow and hopped inside happily. Ruby's heart felt full of joy. Finally, Ruby came across Timmy, the tiny turtle who was stuck on a little hill. Timmy wanted to join the others but couldn't climb down. Ruby thought hard and then had a great idea. She asked her friend Sammy to help. Together, they made a soft leaf ramp for Timmy, who carefully slid down with a happy smile. Ruby's crest shone the brightest yet because helping friends was the greatest magic of all. As the sun began to set, Ruby sat on her favorite tree branch, her golden crest glowing softly in the twilight. She looked around at her friends, Sammy, Bella, and Timmy, all happy and safe. Ruby knew that her special crest wasn't just magic, it was the kindness and friendship she shared every day. And with a happy chirp, she promised to keep spreading joy wherever she flew. The Scrapbook of Stories. One sunny morning in the heart of the Whispering Woods, Luna the little fox found a sparkling book lying beneath a tall, twinkling tree. The book was no ordinary book. It was a magical scrapbook filled with stories that could come to life. As Luna opened the first page, colorful pictures popped up and danced around her, inviting her to step inside and explore new worlds filled with fun and surprises. The first story was about a rainbow dragon who loved to paint the sky with bright colors. Luna imagined flying alongside the dragon, soaring through fluffy clouds and splashing colors everywhere. Together, they created rainbows that stretched across the sky, making the whole forest sparkle with joy. Luna giggled as she felt the warm colors tickle her fur and the breeze whisper happy songs. Turning the page, Luna met a tiny teddy bear who loved to dance. The teddy bear twirled and spun, inviting Luna to join the fun. They danced together under a canopy of sparkling stars, their laughter filling the night air like a happy melody. Luna's paws tapped and twirled, feeling light as a feather, and she knew that dancing was a wonderful way to share happiness. On the next page, a giggling flower fairy fluttered out, sprinkling sparkles that made flowers bloom all around Luna. The fairy whispered secrets about kindness and how every small act could help others grow happy and strong. Luna listened closely, feeling the magic sparkle inside her heart. She promised to always be kind, just like the fairy taught her. Finally, Luna turned to the last page and met a brave little knight who wore shiny armor and carried a tiny wooden sword. The knight invited Luna on an adventure to find a lost star, and together they crossed sparkling streams, climbed gentle hills, and laughed at silly jokes. Luna felt brave and strong, knowing that with friends by her side, she could do anything. When Luna closed the scrapbook, she felt happy and full of new stories in her heart. She knew that whenever she wanted, she could open the magical scrapbook again and dive into another wonderful adventure. With a big smile, Luna curled up under her twinkling tree, dreaming of all the stories still waiting to come alive. The Little Hand of Hannah. Once upon a time, in a sunny little town, there lived a girl named Hannah. Hannah had a special hand, a little hand that could draw the most wonderful pictures. With her crayons in hand, she would sit under her favorite tree and create colorful worlds full of giggles and smiles. One day, Hannah drew a fluffy bunny with big, floppy ears. She wished with all her heart for the bunny to hop out of her drawing. And just like magic, the bunny wiggled its nose and jumped right into her lap. "Thank you for bringing me to life," said the bunny with a cheerful grin. Hannah and the bunny, whom she named Binky, became the best of friends. They played hide and seek among the flowers, danced with the butterflies, and even made up silly songs. Every time Hannah drew something new, it would come to life, and their adventures grew more exciting. One sunny afternoon, Hannah decided to draw a huge rainbow. She wished for it to be the brightest ever. Suddenly, the sky filled with colors and the rainbow arched above them, sparkling and shimmering. "Let's slide down it," Binky exclaimed. Together, they climbed up and whooshed down the rainbow, laughing all the way. As the sun began to set, Hannah and Binky returned to their favorite tree. "Thank you for the best day ever," Hannah said, hugging her fluffy friend. And as she drew a picture of their adventures, she knew that with her little hand, every day could be magical. The Friendly Meadowlark's Melody. In a sunny meadow full of bright flowers and soft green grass lived a little meadowlark named Melody. She had the sweetest voice that sounded like sunshine and happiness. Every morning, Melody would perch on a tall twig and sing a cheerful song that made all the animals smile. The bunnies would wiggle their noses, the butterflies would flutter their wings, and even the sleepy squirrels would stop to listen. Melody loved sharing her melody because it made the meadow feel like a happy place for everyone. One day, a gentle breeze picked up Melody's song and carried it all across the meadow. The animals who were far away heard the happy tune and started to follow the sound. Little by little, the meadow filled with friends who wanted to sing and dance together. They hopped, twirled, and laughed as Melody's melody made their hearts feel warm and light. Even the shyest animals found courage to join the fun because the music made everyone feel like one big family. As the day went on, Melody's song grew even more magical. Her melody filled the meadow with happiness so bright that even the flowers seemed to dance in the breeze. Everyone sang together, their voices blending like a sparkling rainbow in the sky. When the sun started to set, the friends sat together, feeling happy and cozy, thankful for the lovely day. Melody chirped softly one last time, promising to sing again tomorrow and bring the meadow alive with her friendly melody. The Christmas Carol of Charlie and Chloe. One chilly December evening, Charlie and Chloe found a curious little book under the Christmas tree. It wasn't an ordinary book. It sparkled with tiny stars and hummed softly when they touched it. As they opened it, they heard a gentle melody, the very first notes of a magical Christmas carol. Suddenly, the snowflakes outside began to twirl and dance, and the Christmas lights on the house flickered to life with bright, joyful colors. Excited, they sang the carol together, and to their surprise, the snowmen in the yard began to wiggle their carrot noses and sing along. The candy canes on the porch started to twirl like ballerinas, and the stars on the tree shimmered brighter than ever. Charlie and Chloe laughed as the magic filled the air, making their whole world twinkle with holiday cheer. As the carol reached its happiest part, a gentle snowflake floated down and landed softly on Chloe's nose. It sparkled and grew until it became a tiny, shimmering fairy. She smiled and said, "Thank you for singing the Christmas carol. Because of you, the magic of the season will shine bright all night." Then, with a sprinkle of fairy dust, the whole neighborhood glowed warmly, wrapped in a cozy blanket of holiday magic. Charlie and Chloe hugged each other with big smiles, feeling the true spirit of Christmas glowing inside their hearts. They knew this was a Christmas they would always remember, a carol that brought their world to life with laughter, music, and magic. And from that night on, whenever they sang the special carol, the magic would return, filling every Christmas with wonder and joy. The brave little goats climb. In a bright meadow at the foot of a tall, tall hill lived a little goat named Gilly. Gilly was small but very curious. Each day, Gilly looked up at the hill and imagined what it would be like to climb all the way to the top. "I want to see the world from up there," Gilly said with a big smile. The sun shone warmly, and the birds chirped a happy song just for Gilly. One morning, Gilly decided, "Today is the day I will climb the tall hill." With a little hop and a skip, Gilly began the adventure. Along the way, a friendly bird fluttered down and said, "Hello, Gilly. The hill is steep, but you can do it." Gilly felt brave and kept walking up the trail, stepping over stones and leaves, feeling the breeze on the fur. Halfway up, Gilly met a shy rabbit hiding behind a bush. "Are you climbing the hill too?" asked the rabbit softly. "Yes, I want to see the view from the top," said Gilly. The rabbit smiled and decided to join Gilly. Together, they climbed higher, helping each other over tricky spots. Gilly felt happy to have a friend along and knew they could do it together. Near the very top, Gilly and the rabbit found a slow-moving turtle sunbathing on a rock. "Hello, little hikers," said the turtle in a gentle voice. "The climb is tough, but the view is worth it." Gilly and the rabbit took a deep breath and climbed the last few steps. When they reached the top, the whole valley stretched out below, painted with rivers, trees, and tiny houses. Gilly smiled big and said, "We did it! The climb was fun because I was brave and had friends to help me." The rabbit nodded happily, and the turtle chuckled softly. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with pink and orange, Gilly knew this was the best adventure ever. Together, they started down the hill, ready for their next big day. The Little Lion's Roar. Once upon a time in a sunny, green jungle, there lived a little lion named Leo. Leo had the fluffiest mane and the biggest heart. But there was one thing Leo wished for more than anything else: to have a real roar. Every day, he would practice, but all that came out was a tiny squeak. "Squeak, squeak," he would say, as the other animals giggled and played. One sunny morning, Leo decided to ask his friends for help. First, he went to Ellie the elephant. "Ellie, can you help me roar?" he asked. Ellie smiled and said, "Of course, Leo, just take a deep breath and let it out." Leo took a big breath and tried again, but all that came out was another squeak. Ellie chuckled. "That was great, keep trying." Next, Leo visited Zuri the zebra. "Zuri, will you help me roar?" he asked. Zuri nodded happily. "Sure, just pretend you are the biggest lion in the jungle." Leo took a deep breath again, but instead of a roar, there was only a tiny squeak. Zuri laughed. "You're getting closer. Just believe in yourself." Finally, Leo went to see Tilly the toucan. "Tilly, can you help me roar?" he asked. Tilly flapped her colorful wings and chirped, "Of course, let's do it together. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, roar." Leo took a huge breath, and with all his might, he let out his biggest roar yet. R-O-O-A-R-R-R. It was loud and strong, just like he had always dreamed. All the animals in the jungle stopped and turned to Leo. Ellie, Zuri, and Tilly cheered, and the jungle echoed with joy. "You did it, Leo," they shouted. Leo felt proud and happy. From that day on, he roared whenever he wanted, and it was the happiest sound in the jungle. Leo learned that with friends by your side, you can find your voice and let it roar. The happy snake Slither. Once upon a time, in a bright and colorful forest, there lived a happy little snake named Sammy. Sammy was not like any other snake. He loved to slither and glide between the tall trees and soft flowers. With his shiny green scales glimmering in the sun, he would wiggle and giggle, spreading joy wherever he went. One sunny morning, Sammy decided to explore deeper into the forest, eager to find new friends. "Oh, what fun I will have today," he exclaimed. As Sammy explored, he came across Benny the bunny, who was hopping around in a patch of wildflowers. "Hello, Benny," Sammy called out, his voice full of joy. "Want to join me on an adventure?" Benny's ears perked up with excitement. "Oh yes, I love adventures," he replied, bouncing over to Sammy. Together, they slithered and hopped, laughing and playing among the flowers. Next, they met Leela the ladybug, who was resting on a leaf. "Come play with us, Leela," Sammy shouted. Leela's tiny wings fluttered with delight. "I would love to," she replied, zooming around them in joyful circles. Now, with Sammy, Benny, and Leela together, the fun was even bigger. They played hide-and-seek, and Sammy was the best at finding everyone, slipping quietly through the grass. Then they heard a croak from nearby. It was Freddie the frog. "What are you all doing?" he asked, hopping closer. "We're having an adventure. Would you like to join us?" Sammy invited. Freddie's eyes sparkled with happiness. "Absolutely," he croaked. Now the 4 friends were together, ready for even more fun. They decided to have a race to the big blue pond, laughing all the way. When they reached the pond, they flopped down on the soft grass, giggling and panting. "That was the best race ever," Sammy said, his heart full of happiness. The friends spent the rest of the day splashing in the water and enjoying each other's company. Sammy realized that adventures are much more fun when shared with friends. And from that day on, they always remembered to explore the world together, bringing smiles to everyone they met. The Happy Bunny's Hoppity Hop. Happy Bunny woke up with a big smile on his face. Today was the day for his favorite thing, the hoppity hop. He stretched his little paws and gave a cheerful wiggle. Outside, the meadow was glowing with sunshine, and the flowers were swaying gently in the breeze. Happy Bunny took a deep breath and bounced up, then down, then up again, hopping higher and higher like a little spring. Each leap made the world feel brighter and happier. As Happy Bunny hopped happily through the meadow, he met Squeaky the squirrel. Squeaky was watching a shiny acorn sparkle in the sun. "Hello, Squeaky," said Happy Bunny. "Do you want to try my hoppity hop?" Squeaky twitched his bushy tail and nodded eagerly. Together, they bounced and leaped, giggling as they hopped over tiny rocks and colorful flowers. The meadow seemed to dance with them, and the butterflies joined in their fun, fluttering all around. Further along, Happy Bunny and Squeaky found Bluebird perched on a bright red mushroom. "Come join us for the hoppity hop," called Happy Bunny. Bluebird flapped her wings excitedly and swooped down to bounce gently on the soft grass. Together, the trio made a joyful noise of laughter and chirps, their hoppity hop turning into a happy dance. The sun beamed down, and even the ladybugs crawled closer to watch the fun. It was the happiest hoppity hop the meadow had ever seen. As the sun began to set, Happy Bunny felt a warm glow in his heart. He had shared his hoppity hop with friends and made the meadow sparkle with laughter. With one last big hop, he landed softly on a patch of clover and smiled up at the twinkling stars beginning to peek out. "The happiest hoppity hop," he whispered, "is the one we share." And with that, Happy Bunny snuggled into the soft grass, dreaming of more hoppity hops tomorrow. The delicious day of Diego and Diana. Once upon a time, in a land where candy trees grew and chocolate rivers flowed, lived two siblings named Diego and Diana. They woke up one sunny morning, their tummies rumbling with excitement. "Today is a delicious day," shouted Diego, and Diana danced around the room, clapping her hands. They decided to explore their magical world, where every step was a new adventure filled with yummy treats. As they ventured outside, they discovered candy clouds floating in the sky. "Can we jump on them?" Diana asked with wide eyes. They bounced on the candy clouds, giggling as they leaped from one fluffy treat to another. With each jump, they soared higher and higher, tasting the sweet, sugary fluff. "This is the best day ever," Diego exclaimed, his face covered in sticky sweetness. Next, they stumbled upon a chocolate river. "Look," Diana pointed excitedly. They dipped their fingers into the river and tasted the rich chocolate. It's so good." Together, they made chocolate boats out of leaves and floated them down the river, laughing as they raced them against each other. They shared their chocolate treasures and promised to always share their treats. As the sun began to set, they found a giant cupcake hill. They climbed to the top and spotted a rainbow of candies waiting below. Diego and Diana shared the candies with their friends, who joined them for a sweet picnic under the candy trees. They laughed, played, and enjoyed the delicious treats together, knowing that the best part of the day was sharing it with friends. The Curious Case of Charlie the Chicken. One bright morning on Sunny Farm, Charlie the chicken found something sparkling by the garden gate, a shiny pebble that glowed with colors like a tiny rainbow. What could this be? Charlie wondered, tilting his head with a curious cluck. He flapped his wings excitedly, deciding to find out where the magical pebble came from. With a cheerful bounce, Charlie set off on an adventure, ready to explore the big, bright world beyond the farmyard fence. As Charlie wandered down the sunny path, he met Benny the puppy, who wagged his tail happily. "Hello, Charlie. What's that shiny thing?" Benny asked, sniffing the pebble. Together, they walked toward the big oak tree where Olivia the owl lived. Olivia blinked her wise eyes and said, "That pebble looks like a magic treasure. Maybe it wants to show you something special." Charlie's feathers fluffed up with excitement. Could this pebble really be magical? He hoped so. Just then, a gentle breeze swirled the pebble's colors, and a soft melody floated through the air. "Follow the music," chirped a friendly voice. It was Bella the bunny, hopping nearby with a bright smile. Charlie, Benny, Olivia, and Bella all followed the twinkling sound together. The pebble's glow grew brighter as they skipped past sparkling streams and colorful flowers, leading them to a hidden garden full of fluttering butterflies and glowing fireflies. What a wonderful surprise! In the heart of the secret garden, Charlie gently placed the pebble on a soft patch of moss. Suddenly, the pebble shimmered and turned into tiny sparkling seeds that floated up and twirled like little stars. "These are magic seeds," Olivia explained. "If you plant them with kindness and care, they will grow beautiful surprises." Charlie smiled wide, feeling proud and happy. He knew that being curious had led him to the most wonderful discovery of all. With a happy heart, Charlie and his new friends gathered the magic seeds and returned to the farm. Together, they planted them in the garden, watering each seed with care. Soon, colorful flowers, twinkling lights, and tiny surprises blossomed everywhere. Charlie flapped his wings joyfully and clucked, "Curiosity is the best adventure." From that day on, Charlie the chicken knew that every question could lead to something wonderful, especially when shared with friends. The ABCs of Adventure. Once upon a time, in a sunny forest, there lived a curious little fox named Freddie. He loved to explore and dreamed of going on adventures. One bright morning, he found a magical book that said, "The ABCs of Adventure." With a wag of his fluffy tail, Freddie opened the book and jumped into his first adventure. A is for airplane. Freddie zoomed up high in the sky, feeling the wind rush through his fur. He waved to the fluffy clouds and spotted birds dancing below him. "This is so much fun," he squeaked as he soared through the bright blue air. B is for boat. Freddie splashed onto the sparkling ocean, where he hopped onto a colorful boat. The waves tickled his paws as he sailed to a treasure island. "Look at all the shimmering fish," he called out, giggling with joy. C is for cloud. Suddenly, Freddie found himself bouncing on soft, fluffy clouds. Up, up, and away he went, giggling as he danced with the stars. "I could bounce forever," he laughed, feeling as light as a feather. As Freddie explored the ABCs, he realized that every letter held a new adventure. With a big smile, he closed the magical book, ready for more discoveries. "Tomorrow, "I'll find the D for dinosaur," he said, dreaming of all the fun yet to come. The seasons of friendship. In a magical garden where flowers smiled and the breeze sang, 4 friends lived happily together. Sunny the squirrel loved to leap from tree to tree. Breezy the bird sang sweet songs from the branches. Blossom the bunny hopped gently among the flowers. And Splash the frog splashed joyfully in the pond. One bright morning, they decided to explore how their friendship could grow through all the seasons of the year. Spring arrived with soft raindrops and blooming flowers. Sunny and Blossom planted seeds together, while Breezy sang songs to cheer them on. Splash helped by splashing water gently on the little plants. They laughed and learned that just like flowers need sunshine and rain, their friendship needed kindness, sharing, and care to grow strong and bright. Summer brought warm sunshine and long, playful days. The friends enjoyed picnics under the big, leafy trees. Breezy taught them new songs. Sunny raced from branch to branch. Blossom found sweet berries, and Splash cooled off in the pond. They learned that summer's fun was even better when shared, and that helping each other made every day shine a little brighter. When autumn came, the garden was painted with red, orange, and yellow leaves. The friends gathered fallen leaves to make a cozy nest. Sunny shared acorns, Breezy told stories of faraway places, Blossom nibbled on crunchy carrots, and Splash jumped happily in leaf piles. They found that autumn was a time for sharing memories and feeling grateful for the special moments they had together. Winter arrived quietly with soft snowflakes twirling down. The garden was a sparkling white wonderland. The friends built a snow friend together, shared warm hugs, and told stories by the pond's edge. Even when it was cold outside, their friendship kept them warm inside. They learned that true friends stick together through every season, making their hearts cozy and full of joy. As the seasons changed once more, Sunny, Breezy, Blossom, and Splash looked around their magical garden and smiled. They knew that no matter the season, spring, summer, autumn, or winter, their friendship would always bloom, shine, and sparkle. Together, they made every day a new adventure filled with love, laughter, and the magic of being true friends. The Happy Hen's Coop. Henrietta the hen loved her bright, cozy coop on Sunny Farm. Every morning, she sang sweet songs that made the flowers dance and the bees buzz happily. The sun warmed her feathers, and the gentle breeze carried her cheerful tunes all around. Henrietta felt very happy living with her friends and sharing her songs with everyone. One day, while Henrietta was singing, she heard a tiny chirp from behind the barn. Curious, she tiptoed over and found a little lost chick all alone. "Hello there," Henrietta said gently. "Would you like to come to my coop? It's warm and happy here." The chick's eyes sparkled with joy, and it quickly nodded, following Henrietta back to her cozy home. Inside the coop, Henrietta introduced her new friend to the other animals: Molly the cow, Peter the pig, and Sally the sheep. Everyone smiled and welcomed the little chick with happy clucks, moos, oinks, and boss. Together, They made a circle and sang a happy song that filled the coop with warmth and laughter. From that day on, the little chick felt safe and loved in the happy hen's coop. Henrietta's songs grew even sweeter, and the friends played under the sunny sky every day. The farm was filled with giggles, chirps, and joyful sounds because friendship made everything better. And Henrietta knew there was nothing happier than sharing her home and heart. The 4th of July of Freedom. It was the 4th of July, and little Lily was buzzing with excitement. She held tightly to Sparky's leash as they walked to the park where the big celebration was about to begin. The sky was a soft pink as the sun started to set, and colorful balloons danced gently in the breeze. Everywhere Lily looked, there were smiling families, twinkling lights, and red, white, and blue decorations fluttering in the warm air. Sparky wagged his tail fast, sensing the fun ahead. As Lily and Sparky found a cozy spot on a picnic blanket, music began to fill the air. A friendly band played happy tunes that made everyone want to clap and dance. Lily's eyes sparkled as she watched the flags wave and heard the cheerful songs about freedom and friendship. Sparky barked happily, joining in the fun. Lily's mom gave her a little flag to wave, and she felt proud to hold it high, just like a tiny hero celebrating something very special. Suddenly, the sky grew darker, and everyone looked up with wide eyes. Sparkling fireworks began to pop and dance in the night sky, painting it with bright reds, blues, and whites. Lily whispered, "Wow, Sparky, look at those beautiful lights." Sparky wagged his tail so fast it seemed to sparkle too. The fireworks twirled like magic stars, telling a story of bravery, hope, and the joy of being free. Lily felt a warm hug inside her heart, knowing this night was full of happiness for everyone. After the fireworks faded, Lily's mom explained softly, "The 4th of July is a special day when we remember how people work together to be free and happy. It's a day to celebrate friendship, kindness, and all the things that make us smile." Lily hugged Sparky close and thought about how lucky she was to share this wonderful day with her family and friends. Sparky gave a happy bark, as if saying, "Me too." Together, they promised to always celebrate freedom with love and joy. The little chicks Peep. On a bright and sunny morning at Sunny Farm, a tiny yellow chick named Pip woke up with a big stretch and a little peep. Pip's peep was soft and sweet, just like a tiny song. As he stepped out of his cozy nest, he saw the colorful world filled with green grass, fluttering butterflies, and friendly animals all around. Pip was excited to explore and share his special peep with everyone he met. Pip wandered over to the big spotted cow who was munching on some fresh green grass. Pip gave a tiny peep, and the cow looked up with a smile. "Hello, Pip," the cow said kindly. Pip's peep made the cow feel happy and peaceful. Then Pip met the pink pig rolling in the soft mud. With another cheerful peep, Pip made the pig giggle and wiggle its curly tail. Everyone loved Pip's little peep. Suddenly, Pip heard a tiny meow from the orange cat stuck in a tall bush. Pip didn't hesitate. He let out the loudest, happiest peep he could. The sound fluttered through the air like a magic song. The bush shook gently, and the cat popped out, purring and thankful. Pip's Peep had helped his friend. Pip felt proud and warm inside, knowing his little Peep was something special. As the sun began to set, Pip sat on a soft patch of grass, feeling happy and tired. He looked at the farm friends around him and gave one last gentle peep. All the animals joined in with their happy sounds, creating a lovely farmyard chorus. Pip learned that even a little peep can brighten the whole day. With a heart full of joy, Pip snuggled into his nest, ready for sweet dreams and new adventures tomorrow. The Big Band of Benny and Bella. Once upon a time in a sunny forest, there lived a bear named Benny and a bunny named Bella. Benny loved to bang on his big drum, while Bella loved to make sweet music with her shiny flute. One day, as they played together, they had a wonderful idea. "Let's start a band," said Benny. Bella's eyes sparkled with excitement, and she nodded eagerly. "Yes, we can invite all our friends." So off they went to find their friends. They first met Ollie the owl, who was perched high on a branch. "Ollie, will you join our band?" asked Bella. Ollie hooted happily. "Of course, I can play the magical harp." Next, they found Sammy the squirrel, who was busy collecting acorns. "Sammy, come play the tambourine with us," shouted Benny. Sammy squeaked with joy. "Yes, I love to shake and rattle." Finally, they found Rocco the raccoon, who was juggling some shiny rocks. "Rocco, you're in our band. Can you play the maracas?" asked Benny. Rocco grinned and said, "Yes, I can shake them super fast." With Ollie, Sammy, and Rocco joining, the band was complete. They were all so excited. Benny tapped his drum, Bella played her flute, and soon the forest was filled with the happiest sounds. As they played, animals from all around came to listen. The rabbits hopped, the birds chirped, and the squirrels danced. Benny and Bella looked at each other and smiled. They had created a magical moment filled with laughter and friendship. "This is the best band ever," they cheered. And from that day on, they played together every week, filling the forest with joy and music. The Clever Cat's Whiskers. In a bright and bustling village lived Whiskers, the clever cat with the twitchiest whiskers you ever saw. Whiskers loved to explore and think up fun ways to help her friends. Every morning, she would stretch her paws and wiggle her whiskers, ready for a new adventure. One sunny day, Whiskers noticed her friend Benny's kite stuck high up in the tallest tree. Benny looked sad because he couldn't reach it. Whiskers thought for a moment, her whiskers twitching wildly as a bright idea sparked in her mind. With a clever grin, Whiskers gathered her friends to help. "Let's build a kite ladder," she said excitedly. The bluebird brought shiny ribbons, the puppy fetched sticks, and Benny helped tie everything together. Whiskers used her twitchy whiskers to measure and guide the perfect length. Soon, a wobbly but colorful ladder reached up to the kite. Everyone cheered, and Whiskers climbed carefully, her whiskers twitching with excitement. She reached the kite and gently untangled it, returning it to Benny with a proud smile. Benny hugged his kite happily and thanked Whiskers and her friends. "Your clever whiskers and kind heart helped save my kite," he said. Whiskers purred softly, her whiskers twitching in delight. From that day on, everyone in the village knew that with a little cleverness, a twitch of imagination, and a lot of kindness, any problem could be solved. And Whiskers? She couldn't wait for the next adventure, her whiskers twitching all the way. The Tasty Travels of Tom and Tina. Tom and Tina were two little bunnies who loved to eat and explore. One sunny morning, they packed their tiny backpacks with crunchy carrots and soft bread and hopped out into the world to find the tastiest foods ever. Their noses twitched with excitement as they dreamed of sweet berries, warm pies, and crunchy cookies waiting for them just beyond the forest. First, they met a friendly turtle named Tilly who had a shell that looked like a giant watermelon. Tilly shared juicy, red watermelon slices with them. Tom and Tina giggled as the sweet juice dripped down their chins. They learned that sharing tasty treats made every bite even better and made new friends along the way. Next, the bunnies followed a melody to find a parrot named Polly, who loved to sing and eat bananas. Polly peeled a bright yellow banana and offered it to Tom and Tina. They all danced and sang a silly song about bananas and sunshine. It was the yummiest tune they ever heard, and they felt their tummies giggle with happiness. As the sun began to set, Tom and Tina found a magical pie tree. The tree's branches were heavy with pies of all flavors: apple, cherry, and even pumpkin. They each took a tiny bite and tasted a burst of sweetness that made their eyes sparkle. They realized the tastiest part of their travels was all the fun and friends they had made. Full and happy, Tom and Tina hopped back home under the twinkling stars. They dreamed of their next tasty adventure, knowing the world was full of yummy surprises and wonderful friends. But for now, they snuggled up, smiling and ready to dream of the tasty travels that tomorrow might bring. The Throwing Trio of Timmy and Tina. One sunny morning, Timmy and Tina found 3 special balls in their backyard. The first ball was sparkly blue and glowed softly in their hands. The second was bright red and bounced higher than any ball they had ever seen. The third was sunny yellow and had tiny wings that fluttered gently. Excited, they decided to name themselves the Throwing Trio and began to play together with their magical new friends. Timmy threw the red ball, and it bounced so high it almost touched the clouds. Tina giggled as she caught the glowing blue ball, which shone brighter every time she hugged it. Then, the yellow ball fluttered its wings and flew all around the garden, making happy buzzing sounds. The backyard was filled with laughter as the Throwing Trio played their new game, taking turns throwing, catching, and chasing the magical balls. Suddenly, the yellow ball flew toward a tall tree and got stuck on a branch. Timmy and Tina looked up with wide eyes. They worked together, making a little tower with cushions and stepping carefully until Tina reached up and caught the yellow ball. The Throwing Trio cheered. Teamwork made their fun even better. From that day on, Timmy, Tina, and their magical balls played happily every day, imagining new adventures and sharing giggles under the warm sun. The Excited Little Elephant. Once upon a time, in a lush green jungle, there lived an excited little elephant named Ellie. Ellie had the biggest ears you could ever imagine, and they flapped in the breeze whenever she got excited. Today was special because Ellie was going to explore the jungle with her friends. She trumpeted with joy, "Hooray! Let's go on an adventure." As Ellie wandered through the jungle, she met her friend Max, the mischievous monkey. "Let's swing from the trees," Max shouted, jumping from one branch to another. Ellie giggled and tried to jump, but she was much too big. Instead, she encouraged Max, "You go first, I'll watch and cheer." Max swung high and low, making Ellie laugh out loud. After some swinging fun, Ellie and Max came across Tilly, the wise old turtle. Tilly was sunbathing on a rock, enjoying the warm sun. "What a lovely day for an adventure," she said with a smile. Ellie nodded and said, "It is. Join us, Tilly." Tilly chuckled. "Oh, I might be slow, but I can bring my wisdom to your adventure." The three friends continued their journey until they stumbled upon a sparkling river. The water danced under the sunlight, and colorful fish swam happily. "Let's splash!" Ellie exclaimed excitedly. They all jumped into the water, splashing and laughing, creating waves of joy. "This is the best adventure ever," Ellie squealed, her heart full of happiness. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Ellie realized something important. "The best part of our adventure is sharing it with friends," she said. Max and Tilly nodded in agreement. They all hugged, feeling grateful for their day of fun and laughter. Together, they promised to have more adventures because every day was a chance to share joy. The story of Paula and Peter. Once upon a time, in a magical garden, there lived a fluffy puppy named Paula and a curious kitten named Peter. They loved to play together every day, exploring the colorful flowers and chasing butterflies. One sunny morning, Paula said, "Let's find the biggest flower in the garden." Peter's eyes sparkled with excitement as he replied, "Yes, let's go on an adventure." And off they went, wagging tails and twitching whiskers, ready for a day of fun. As they wandered deeper into the garden, they met a friendly rabbit named Ruby. "Hello, Paula and Peter," she said, hopping over. "What are you looking for?" Paula wagged her tail and said, "We're searching for the biggest flower." Ruby smiled and pointed with her paw. "Follow me, I know just the place." Excited, Paula and Peter followed Ruby, their hearts full of joy and laughter. They soon arrived at the tallest flower they had ever seen. It was a giant sunflower stretching high into the sky. "Wow," said Peter, his eyes wide with wonder. Paula barked happily, "Let's climb up and see the view." But how could they reach the top? They thought and thought. Then Paula had a brilliant idea. "Let's work together," she exclaimed. "I can help you up and you can pull me up too." With teamwork, Paula jumped up while Peter climbed on her back. Together, they reached the top of the sunflower. From up high, they saw the entire garden bursting with colors and life. "We did it!" they cheered, their voices ringing out in glee. They learned that with friendship and teamwork, they could achieve anything. As they climbed back down, they knew they would have many more adventures together. The Little Robot's Big Heart. In a bright and buzzing town full of whirling gears and twinkling lights lived a tiny little robot named Rollo. Though he was small, Rollo's heart was special. It glowed warmly and shined brightly for everyone to see. Every morning, Rollo rolled out of his cozy little house, excited to explore and help his friends. Today was going to be a very big day for the little robot with the big heart. Rollo's first stop was at the playground, where he saw a tall robot struggling to reach a bright red ball stuck high in a tree. Without hesitation, Rollo zipped over and used his little robotic arms to climb up carefully. With a big smile, he grabbed the ball and gently tossed it back to his friend. "Thank you, Rollo," cheered the tall robot. Rollo's heart glowed even brighter, happy to help. Next, Rollo found a group of robots trying to fix a broken music box, but they couldn't figure out the last piece. Rollo clicked and beeped softly, offering his tiny screwdriver. With careful turns and gentle taps, he helped fix the music box so it played a joyful tune. The robots clapped their hands and danced happily, and Rollo's heart glowed warmer than ever, feeling the magic of teamwork. As the sun began to set, Rollo saw a little robot sitting all alone, looking sad because she didn't have any friends to play with. Rollo rolled over and offered his glowing heart. "Let's play together," he said. Soon, more robots joined, and they all laughed, played games, and shared stories under the twinkling stars. Rollo knew that even the smallest robot could bring the biggest happiness. That night, as Rollo tucked himself into his little bed, his glowing heart shone softly, filled with happiness from the day's adventures. "Even though I'm small," he thought, "my big heart can make a big difference." And with that happy thought, the little robot drifted to sleep, dreaming of more bright days to come, where kindness and friendship would always shine the brightest. The brave little Firefly. In the middle of a peaceful forest lived a tiny firefly named Flicker. Flicker was small, but had the brightest light of all the fireflies. Every night, Flicker loved to dance in the dark, lighting up the leaves and flowers around. All the forest animals would smile when they saw Flicker's glowing tail twinkle like a little star. Flicker dreamed of lighting up the whole forest one day, making the night feel warm and happy. One evening, dark clouds gathered above the forest, and a big storm started to rumble. The wind howled and the rain poured down, making the forest dark and scary. All the animals hurried to find safe places to hide, but some little ones got lost in the rain and shadows. Flicker knew the forest needed a bright light to help everyone find their way home. Even though Flicker was small, it was time to be brave and shine brighter than ever before. Gathering all the courage inside, Flicker's light grew bigger and brighter, shining through the thick rain and dark clouds. Flicker flew high and low, guiding the lost animals back to their homes. The little rabbit hopped safely back to its cozy burrow, the sleepy owl found its tree nest, and the tiny hedgehog rolled into its warm leaves. The forest wasn't scary anymore because Flicker's brave little light was there to brighten the night. When the storm finally passed, the forest sparkled under a sky full of stars. All the animals gathered around Flicker, cheering and thanking the brave little firefly. Flicker smiled, feeling proud and happy. Even though Flicker was tiny, the little light made a big difference that night. From then on, Flicker knew that being brave and kind could brighten the darkest moments and bring everyone together.